Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yes, Bitcoin on the 4-hour. We had one of well, you can't really call it a Bart Simpson because it didn't manage to hold above at the higher level for very long at all. But yeah, we had a move up and a fully retrace of that move and actually take out the recent lows. So obviously this low here, but yeah, just textbook crypto. But nonetheless, we are back down, tested into our support level again, and this is not the strongest support level that's going, although it is proving quite strong thus far. But yeah, supported off there at the moment. But yeah, if you want to look at stock markets as well, they are having a tiny little bit of a bounce off a support level, this $3,600 level as well. But I think most notably what's going on is if we all remember back to Bitcoin's inception and what was the statement or whatever that was written in like the first block or something like that about how the Bank of England is on the verge of bailing out the banks or whatever. We basically this day right this morning we have had the second iteration of that process. Obviously this time it wasn't to bail out the banks because the banks have already all been bailed out by central banks, and obviously basically as in by central banks, this is pretty much by the taxpayers, and now it is the actual sovereigns, the actual taxpayers, the actual governments that are now insolvent, and we are basically having the bailout of the sovereign governments now, as central banks are just as the ECB, the Bank of England, the BOE, is announced is buying like longer dated bonds to try and help the government finance. It literally is now bailing out the actual government, so of their out of their mess. It is hilarious. Potentially this could be the turnaround now where people realise that this is the playbook. I mean, it is only a matter of time before this same playbook occurs in America. Obviously other countries will fall first, but obviously the UK probably been the most notable one of late, and yeah, it is certainly an interesting time. So is the market's going to see that and start to look at things a little bit differently? We shall have to see. 10-year off a little bit here, but nothing major. We'll actually go to our actual chart. 10-year off here, but okay, I say nothing major, but yeah, pull back a little bit here. The DXY, I mean, it's still pretty aggressive. It's still a pain trade. Ethereum USD trying to maintain this support level, this support area against Satoshi parent. Similarly, trying to maintain the support level. Things are poised for a potential collapse. So is that going to happen, or is it just going to tease us with a collapse and then whipsaw us in the other direction? We shall have to see. What else to look at? Oil having a little bit of a move here, obviously up on the US basically just doing his usual terrorism tactics. Basically, although the pipeline was shut off, it was clearly a negotiating point, and apparently Germany, which is obviously in dire straits, has been negotiating with Russia to obviously turn that back on, and obviously the Americans didn't like that. They don't like the fact that Russia was able to negotiate with Germany, and Germany was negotiating with Russia for its own self-interests, to basically turn back on the supply. So America decided it needed to stop that and destroy the pipeline, so that basically they couldn't have that negotiating tool. Obviously, anyone's trying to pretend that didn't happen. Biden literally said that they were going to do it, and now they've done it. And yeah, and funnily enough, they're blaming it on Russia. It's a false flag. It's always a false flag if another country does it. So basically, if the US does it, it's a false flag from another country. But anyway, we're not gonna get into all that, all that fun stuff. But yeah, gold. Well, is it catching a bid here? Having a little bit of a move. Literally, all these markets are pretty much more of the same. They are just awaiting the next decision from just the general the market as a whole. Are we gonna just take this big leg lower, this crash lower? Is the dollar gonna take another leg up, which would just be excruciatingly painful for that financial markets? Is the 10 years gonna take another leg up, or are people starting to realize that there is a buckling of resolve from the central bank community, most notably obviously with the UK today, this morning, and then are we just going to basically see a turnaround and then an actual pivot? Well, turnaround, pivot, the same thing. Are we actually going to see a pivot start to get factored in? Yeah, let's look at stochastics. 4 hour pointing down here, still got room to run. 10 hour pointing down. 12 hour just about able to hold its upward momentum in the bullish zone. Daily still turning up from this nice low level. Buy daily still down though. 3 day low, but at a low level, potentially looking to turn up. Weekly potentially looking to turn up from low level, but not yet. And then bi-weekly and monthly pointing down. So I mean I mean, are we going to get another leg down? Are we going to get a capitulation? If we do get a leg down in the stock market, in crypto, then that pretty much, if we do, could be that wick low that we do then rally off and have a decent medium-term bounce. It could even be the end. It could even be we could even put in the final low if that is to happen. If we come down low enough, maybe around 60.5k. But is the market going to do that, or is it just going to turn around from here? We shall have to see. When things look the worst, that is the point that they turn around. When everything's bearish, everything's looking bad. I know we haven't really had a proper capitulation in stocks, like a real like a COVID moment. We've not really had one of those. But yeah, have we done enough? Have we double bottomed? Just did a bit of a liquidity hunt below these lows? Could we have another little wick down and then find ourselves back above this support area? Well, resistance at the moment, but then support, and then basically back above 4,000, and then onwards and upwards. We shall have to see, because I just don't think that they just the power, the people that rule the world are just they're quite ready for a full-on collapse of finance 1.0 here, and there is obviously clear signs of the global currency, money system, financial system buckling under these pressures. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. That is it though. That is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.